Hello, welcome. Finally making a video, and I thought a good one to start with would be 1930's Pokemon. Now, if you don't know what they are, which chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably came from my Instagram, so you probably wouldn't know what they are. But if the chances are you don't, then I'll explain. 1930's Pokemon came about quite a while ago, probably a few years actually. And it started as another artist who made a challenge, and it was called the 1930's Pokemon Challenge. And basically what that was to draw every single Pokemon in the Gen 1 Pokedex in a 1930's cartoon style, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like, well, you could look it up, and it's like sort of, like Popeye, like the Mickey Mouse, but the one where he's on like the steamboat. And then there's also a few games employed that sort of style, like Bendy and the Ink Machine kind of does it with the mascot. But then Cuphead is an excellent example. The entire game is a 1930's cartoon, but as a game. It's awesome. So basically that's what that was. And I thought it was a really cool idea, but I didn't obviously have the time or really want to draw every single Pokemon in the Gen 1 Pokedex in that style. So I just picked a few. I started with Gengar, I did Pikachu, did the starters, did all the normal ones, and then it really took off back then. That was like the biggest. Those were like the biggest posts I had ever got, and so I was like, oh well, these are doing pretty well. I guess I'll do some more, and then I did a few more in Gen 2, Gen 3. But looking back, they were not too great, which it was a while ago, so it's okay. And then recently, maybe a few months ago now, I just randomly remembered them, and I was like, oh, I could probably do those a lot better now. So I did them, and I did do those a lot better. I also started with Gengar again, but instead of doing just one Pokemon, I did the entire line in each post, which I think which looked a lot better. The ones I did Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Then I did Oddish, Gloom, and Vileplume. Then I did Mime Jr. and Mr. Mime, which this one was only Gen 1, but I know Mime Jr. is not Gen 1, but Mr. Mime is, and it's his pre-evolution, and so I just decided to include him. Then I did Magikarp and Gyarados, and then I did Pikachu, obviously, but I did him, I don't know if you've seen the post, you might notice, it's like at the end of the Looney Tunes when Porky Pig is at the end, and he's like, that's all folks, that's what I was going for. And also, if you are interested, I will put the link down in the description. You are able to buy stickers of these guys on my Redbubble shop if you'd like to. They're not really too expensive, but if you want to, go ahead. Probably at this point that I'm recording, I haven't started doing any Gen 2, but at the point I release or post this video, I'd say I probably would have started by then. So I will put a few pictures here and here if I have, but if I haven't, then stay tuned for that. That'll be soon. On to the process of how I make these guys. The way I go about making these guys is a lot different to anything I've done in the past, because if you look at when I make Fakemon, it's pretty thin line art, and it's very, like, the shading and highlights are very blended. Obviously the colors are in color, not black and white, so it's very different, and it's a pretty refreshing drawing these guys, because it's not very long, but it's very fun, and yeah, it's just good. Anyway, so I use a thicker brush when I'm doing these guys. It's a similar brush to what I usually use. It's just a little more smoother, I guess. And for the shadows and highlights and stuff, I don't blend it, because in a later step, I guess you could call it, it would sort of get lost a little, and it just wouldn't really be worth it. For the colors, the colors I use, obviously all black and white, so it's just greys and whites, I guess, yeah. Which it is actually the black and white version of what those Pokemon colors are. So I just color drop the colors from the actual Pokemon official art, and then color my drawings in it, and then I just go into the the color settings and just desaturate it all the way so it's black and white. Sometimes I will have to sort of edit these a little, the colors a little bit, because especially I think this happened with Gengar. The black and white version of the purple and the red were very similar, and this also happened with Gyarados. The black and white version of the blue, and he's got the yellow, it was very hard to tell, so I had to make, I think I made the yellow brighter again, I made the blue a bit darker, and it definitely helped. The final step I have is not actually in the drawing phase, it's when I go put it into the layout, which I'll show you again, is I have all these texture layers, I guess you could call it, on a multiply layer effect, and it's like I got like an old film texture, so it's like all like the lines that you see in the cartoons, and then I have another one where it's sort of, if you look in old cartoons again, you'll see like the crackles and like you see little swirly things appear every once in a while. And then I have just, those two I got from the internet, but this one it's just easy to make on Procreate. It's just like a grainy layer. So how you do that is you just make a layer of any color, then you go into the effects and you turn up noise all the way, and then you just desaturate it and put it on a multiply layer, and I just decrease the opacity a little. It's not, it's pretty though, so it makes everything a little darker too, and ups the contrast a little bit, but it just adds that little grain that you would always see in the cartoons. I don't know what else there really is to talk about this, so I guess I'll just show a few process videos. So I'll put on a little bit of 1930's music, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Would you like to buy a dream? I found that it can't come true. You'll find that it may for you. Would you like to buy a dream? Would you like to try a dream? It tells of a perfect love, the one I've been dreaming of. Would you like to buy a dream? Dreams I'd rather have reality. Love, tell me what good are dreams to me. Take my dream and set me free. Although it is heavenly, it just wasn't meant for me. Would you like to buy a dream?
baby's asleep.
There's a new addition to our family, with the strange ambition of sleeping constantly, as he cuddles up so sweetly. Shush, shush, be a mouse when you're walking in our house.